call that radio? You call that radio TV? No. You call that radio TV?
This is You Call That Radio.
Welcome to You Call That Radio TV. This must be the 590th show we've done in the last week. Not that I'm one to exaggerate things, but it's been a lot. We're running out of time. This Saturday, we have this on Saturday. We have this Bomb Scare, the Rag and Bone Man. Not the Fast Camels anymore. The Fast Camels could no longer doing it. So SOS, full emergency mode to find a replacement for the Fast Camels. We're looking for a full band, preferably if there's a female and a female band member, because it is a bit of a sausage fest right now. So preferably Glasgow based, preferably fun, and definitely need to be good, I'm afraid. But we've got to fill that slot from the Fast Camels. They can no longer make it. And we've also got the Clash of 2021, an introduction to some of the best MCs from Scotland and beyond. And that'll be taking place. I might just announce who's doing that tonight to make up for the fact that Fast Camels aren't playing. I might announce that tonight. The plan was to wait until everything is ready so we could do it tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's the big build up to the big one. So I might just hold off till tomorrow. Tell you who the replacement band is. If we find one, I'm sure we'll find one. The replacement band, and tell you who's playing the Wee Room and who's playing the hip hop cypher. We've got an absolute legend from the hip hop scene joining us tonight. It's Spawn Zero. He is in the house. He's backstage, helping himself to the Warham red stripe and the rider. This show would not be possible without the support of the Patreon. So thank you to everyone who supports us on Patreon. If you're tuned into YouTube, hit the subscribe button. And what else have I got to say? Thursday night, we're doing the pub quiz as well. So I'll be announcing some of the people that are taking part in the pub quiz. In fact, I'll just announce that now. We've got Alan Bissett, Hannah and Tim Curry, hopefully Hugh Reid, and I've not got my list to hand, but it's a busy week. It's a busy next week. We're just going all out right up until Boxing Day. And then there will be a little breather from You Call That Radio. I think and I hope. Let's give a warm round of applause to Spawn Zero and hit the share button.
You Call That Radio.
Fucking radio. Here to tell people that we hear you. One God will not allow.
You Call That Radio.
However you want to see it.
You Call That Radio.
You call that radio?
However you want to say it, that's kind of part of the fun.
Powered by our patrons.
Brothers and sisters.
Indeed, powered by our Patreons. Thank you to everyone who's been supporting the show this year. Hello, Mark. Hello, Petra. Hello, Alan. And hello, Spawn Zero. Spawn Zero, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you, man.
Nice one, mate. Good to see you.
Good to
I
see you,
believe
man.
that you're live from Livingston. Is that correct?
Yeah, a tiny bit outside Livingston, but yeah, pretty much Livingston. West Lothian.
The greater Livingston area.
Yeah. Forever expanding.
Well, it's good to see you, man. You had one of the best albums out of the year. Underrated, is it fair to say? An underrated album?
Maybe, man. I think it's always a bit cringy when artists themselves say something's their own shit's underrated. So
I think so as well, man.
Yeah.
I do it, but I've been guilty of it. Well, do you know what?
Same. It's totally the same.
I think what it is that I catch the thought that I sometimes feel like, you know, a release didn't get the credit it deserved, or the praise, or the stuff. But I kind of catch that thought because I'm also aware that when it comes to actually sending out press releases and stuff like that, I'm a bit lazy with it. So, like, you know, I kind of expect people to latch on without me actually putting any work in. So I kind of catch the thought. And also, you know, what you make is kind of, you know, what I make, what you make as well, is a kind of a niche area. So unless you are actually sort of banging down some doors, people aren't going to stumble upon it or choose to write about it, potentially. So I do catch the thought. I mean, obviously I made the Scottish Album of the Year song.
Brilliant song, man.
As a piss take to that is my internal dialogue though. Like, it has been for years. I get it. Like, just for a brief second, I feel like, how come I've not won the Scottish Album of the Year yet? And then I catch the thought and go, all right, okay. And I think that, you know, there's a habit of people complaining about others, but what they mean is themselves. So you sometimes get that way, people complaining that there's not enough females, which is right sometimes, but it might be because they're part of a female band, or it might be that there's, I'm definitely one for there's not enough working class artists out there.
Yeah.
And I sometimes feel that in, when in the hip hop circles, when people say there's not enough hip hop, they mean there's not enough me.
Real hip hop.
Yeah, there's not enough real me. There's not enough real hip hop. I should be winning the Album of the Year. But that's just obviously opinions, and I understand as well. It's frustrating though, isn't it? I mean,
100.
Even if you're mature enough to deal with those emotions, it can be frustrating that you put a lot of work in. I mean, how much work went into that album? Whatever makes you happy.
I've got to be 100 with you, man. It's probably my shortest album, and I know it's a bit weird to say because I've only released 2 albums, but I mean, I've got 2 solo albums. I released music with Bars Fury and do the LIV stuff, so I've released like a couple of mixtapes. So that's how we sort of we got into, like, it's like training for making our own albums, but as well as it's good fun for us, so we still do it. But that with Permo, my first album, that was a weird one, man. I worked with a few producers at the start, like years and years and years ago, and then stuff would end up, like, I don't know, like you'd end up falling out or something like that, and then like beats get taken back, and it's like, oh, okay, so like where does that stand with my music, kind of thing. So Permo took like 3-4 years, including everything I'd learned for, obviously, like I say 3-4 years, but like something like 6 or 7 years, because it was all just stories that I'd built up, and I always said I didn't want to release an album until I knew it was good enough. I still maybe think I might have released it a bit early, but people still rate it. But I wanted to do the complete opposite way. Whatever makes you happy. It was totally different beats. It was completely out of my comfort zone. I made it in a year. Like, I'd have written, recorded. Like, I had met the producer, Jazz Williams. I met him and we clicked. Like, he makes incredible beats, and we sort of agreed to make an album together. And just it kind of happened really easily. And again, it only happened, like, it took a full, like, I'd say within a full year we'd got it all completely done, like all 13. I think there's a few other tracks, but like we shortened it down to 13, I think it was. But yeah, so a lot of work did go into it. I was a lot more serious about it, but it maybe didn't take as long as like maybe my first album, because the difference is, like, I work a lot more now. Like, I make sure I don't ever take breaks or stuff like that, because I think it's a weird area to get into. But yeah, basically a year.
With the not taking breaks, can you go a wee bit more into that? What do you mean by not taking breaks?
Yeah, it's kind of a weird thing, man. A couple of rappers that I know, like big rappers, have told me that like they would take a couple of months off, and then they find it hard to sort of get back into it. Like, sometimes now, even though I work quite, like, I make sure I write like nearly every day, but sometimes I've got to force myself to do it. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't know, because I make sure I go into a different room, like, because I live with my girlfriend, so it's like I make sure I got the space to myself and all that kind of stuff, and it's just sort of like, I sometimes even now still have to force myself into it, and it's like as soon as you sit down 5 minutes and get into it, it's totally, it's lovely, it's amazing. It's like, why was I even bothered about it? But it's that whole just headspace, like, oh, I've got to just do it, and then as soon as you're sitting down, it's like, oh, I should be doing this. Like, same with making beats, man. I've been trying to make beats recently, and it's just the attention span for it is really hard because I've got such a short attention span as it is. So trying to learn something new at an older age is sort of weird to me. I don't feel like I've got as much attention for it as I usually do.
You know, it's interesting. We had someone on the show the other night who said that that's actually an urban myth, which is it was me that said it. You know, I was blaming my old age for making things more difficult, but I think it might have just been my shit brain. I think it's just I've kind of struggled this year a wee bit with the frustration of learning new stuff. You know, learning how StreamYard works, learning how Premiere Pro, Photoshop, just look, because I mean, although I have edited videos before and I've I've made flyers and stuff before, I've just I've been using the real stuff now because I've got a computer that can handle it, and it is frustrating at first because you're just like, it's not a nice feeling being shite at something, and and you can tell you've been shite. Obviously, you've been writing for a long time now, so you're kind of aware of the rules and how to get into the headspace, and then you get into the headspace and you know when it's going well. You know what I mean? Without being, you can still be modest and know when you've wrote a good line. You're like, yeah, that's good. I have got one good line today. Or what, what, and that's worth it for a sit down to get that one line of golden nugget. That's a good day.
Definitely, yeah. I would say like writer's block doesn't actually exist. I think just again, it's all just down to like I think I used to think I had it. It would just be like a couple of days of not writing. But again, I think I don't know, I've not had like writer's block in years. Like,
are you saying that you think it's maybe it's not so much writer's block, it's maybe high standards? So you're kind of you think that you've got writer's block, but what you've actually got is you've got a high expectation to write something good. Yeah. Which is actually we're doing is just writing something down, anything, and for kind of like working out. It's almost like.
Do you know what I think? What I think it is like, I think because I think over the past maybe like 2 or 3 years, I'm really sort of confident in myself and my skill and stuff like that. Whereas like, I mean, I've been doing this. I think it's this year. It'll be 10 years since I started being an MC, which is crazy. But those first like maybe even up to 6 years, I wasn't as confident with myself. So it's like, I think that's, and again, I would compare myself to everything I listened to. Like, I used to love like rappers like Jam Baxter and all the ones that are really like good with imagery. Like, see, like Susan. Like, I love rappers like Susan where they can just like, you can close your eyes and you can just actually imagine what they're talking about. And it's like, I always loved that kind of rap and I always wanted to try and do it, but it wasn't. I had to sort of like sit myself down. Was like, I'm not as good or as deep as maybe I want to be, and it's like I think maybe it was a wee bit of a turning point where it's like now I know I've maybe just got to talk about myself, even not all the time. I know how to get like make tunes with like different subjects and not just talk about myself, but just not in that like same way like Carpenter. He's really good at that shit of stuff, like just that whole imagery thing. But I'm just trying to think about what the point before you were just talking about there. Sorry,
I was just saying that maybe it's the higher expectations, the higher standards when you're writing, so and how that maybe links in with writer's block. So you're maybe trying to write a classic because you know that you've got the ability to write something good.
Definitely, no, that was it, man. It was like I think for the first 6 years again, I'm comparing myself to everybody, so it's like. I feel like I would get writer's block because I'm not as good as the people that I'm hearing. Whereas now it's just like there's a little less of that because I feel like I'm confident in my skill, but as well as that, like I'm trying not to compare myself because like I read that other like comparison is the thief of joy. Like it'll ruin your day and ruin your life if you just keep comparing yourself to people. Because especially in things like I think people would laugh at Scottish hip hop, but it's like no one knows how many amazing MCs and writers there are in this scene, and it's like. Nearly impossible to not be jealous of most of them because they're fucking incredible. But it's when I think you get to a point when you've done it a few years where it's like I can respect them and still do my own shit. And
absolutely, man. So what we're going to do is just for people who are maybe not aware of your music, I'm going to play the lights just to kind of I've just introduced people to it. So could you just give us a little introduction to this song or the video or what it means to you? Stuff like that, and we'll give that a wee spin.
Definitely, yes. The lights from the album Whatever Makes You Happy. This one, I don't know. The whole album's just sort of about kind of my like troubles with alcoholism and maybe not personally, but like a lot of things I like to see and try and write about things that I see, but it's like mostly about. It's really trippy and all that kind of stuff. And I think The Lights was the first one that Jazz Williams sent me with a hook on it. And honestly, I wrote it within like an hour or something like that. The full song, like it was just so easy to write. So yeah, enjoy it if it's the first time you've seen it, and then enjoy it if it's the second time you've seen it or the millionth.
Enjoy it, yeah, just enjoy it. Yeah. Just because you've seen it before doesn't mean you can't enjoy it. I'm not saying you shouldn't.
Definitely.
You know I hate the fight, but.
from the lights. I've been doing too much, I'm sick of the lies. I don't know who to trust, never know who to trust. Do what you want, but don't waste my time. It's taking too long, I'm not getting any younger. You know me, I hate to fight. Ask anyone that knows me, I've always been a lover. Like, damn, where the mums at? Better get some bud, where's the buck fast? I'm not even out my nut, but it's weed so good, cause I'm coming up and up and up and done fat. Spawn, you're a good cunt. You're funny, but wouldn't say you're a good drunk. I know that you think you're cool, but you won't go far unless you're poor and you push drugs. Who are you believing in the most? Too many gone now, I've been losing hope. That's why I always look like I just seen a ghost. I can't get no sleep, I wish they'd just leave me alone. I don't listen to cat, that's the truth, damn shame. Used to be class acts and poof. It's fun to watch your lab rats and listen going out tonight and putting this hand back to use. I kinda think I'd half-assed my youth musically. I know I don't have jack to prove, but I'm living so bad at keeping in contact with all of my fam and the troops. I said the same my last album, look, nothing has changed. I have that, I'm mute. Name me something that rap has and took. I'm too obsessed with cash tracks and hooks. Look where I'm at, I'm cash tracked and hooked. Check my music and laugh at the views, but I wouldn't get used to it. Shout out everyone that took the piss, cause now I'm good.
You know I run from the lights. You know I'm sick of the lies. You know I'm wasting my time. Hey. You know I run from the lights. You know I'm sick of the lies. You know I hate the fight. Why?
Never head from lakes. I've been out here picking face. I'm still out here sipping wine. Yeah, I've been living nice. If you see me sniffing brains, bitch don't come up, babe. I'm so sick of all this shit. Just let me live my life. Never head from lakes. I've been out here picking face. I'm still out here sipping wine. Yeah, I've been living nice. If you see me sniffing brains, bitch don't come up, babe. I'm so sick of all this shit. Just let me live my life.
You know I'm off from the lies. You know I'm sick of the lies. You know I'm wasting my time. You know I'm off from the lies. You know I'm sick of the lies. You know I hate the fight.
Brothers and sisters, may the peace that can only come from the one God be upon you. We are here to tell the people that we hear you. One God will not allow us as people of conscience to lose our morale.
Powered by our patrons. This is You Call That Radio, and we're live with Spawn Zero. Absolute tune. Shouts to Jazz Williams on the beat. And yeah, man, what was let's go back to the name Spawn Zero.
Yeah. What do you want to know? Oh, how I got it?
Yeah, aye.
Well, I don't know if you might know. My first name was horrific, so horrific. I don't even want to fucking say it.
You've got it, man. You've got it.
Okay.
Come on.
It was Time Lord, and I was under that name for a good few years in my rap life. Horrific, but yeah, that's what happens when you name yourself. You should never ever give yourself your own name because it just never works. But well, not always, but yeah, for me it didn't work. It was a dumb idea. What happens is you call yourself something and then you meet a lot of people and spend a few years of them getting used to it, and still to this day, Stephen or Stevie T, whatever, I'm calling him his old name because he always calls me Time. Same with a few of the other Dead Sounds boys. They still call me Time. I'm like, mate, no, I'm Spawn. But I've actually always been called Spawn. Spawn was my nickname since I was like 13 or something. A friend, we're at a comic book shop, and he was mad dyslexic and was like, Sean, do you want to see this Spawn comic? But I said it the other way around, so it was like, Spawn, do you want to take the Sean comic? It was really dumb, but that's how I got the Spawn part of it. And again, the whole Time Lord crap. I got to a point where I was like, nah, I'm going to change my name because I really didn't even like most of the stuff I was doing under that name. So,
do you think that's maybe a benefit of that then, that you've got, because obviously when you did re-enter the world, the atmosphere as Spawn Zero, you're kind of starting afresh, so all the stuff that you've done before, learning your feet, is now in the past. So it's kind of like drawing a line under it and starting fresh again.
Yeah, kind of, man. Like, I do still have one of my EPs under the Time Lord thing, and I still have it on my Bandcamp, but just because I don't know, I feel a bit weird about deleting it. I might do it soon, but yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things, man. I still know a lot of people now that have names that they really don't like, but because it's been like 7, 8 years or something, they're like,
Yeah,
I can't change it.
fucking. I'm in a band called Gyro Babies, man. That
Yeah,
that
right enough. Yeah.
that'll do you nothing. That'll do you nothing. But you've
I
got
love that name, though.
you've worked so hard. You've worked so hard that it's quite a lot. I think one more album for Gyro Babies, then I need to change do a new project with that. That's what I'm thinking about it. But I said that last time as well. So you've got Spawn Zero sounds cool though. I like it. We've got Jails in the House. Always Time Lord. Time Lord.
Yeah, that's the thing. I used to spell it like that as well because I was like, oh, it's Scottish rap. I must put a bit of Scottishness in it or some dumb shit. Honestly, man, I'm so dumb. But yeah.
Petra's enjoying the last tune, and Alan was enjoying that as well. And that's taken from the album that is available just now. What was it? So I suppose the problem is as well, you're dropping the album and you're thinking to yourself, okay, the album's finished. I'm looking forward to gigging out and about.
Yeah.
And then obviously that was an option. Was that the plan though? Was the plan to get it out there to the live arena?
Oh, 100%. I was quite lucky. I think maybe the past like year and a half or something, I've had constant gigs obviously before the whole COVID crap kicked in, but I did manage to play that album. I think in about 3 or 4 gigs before it actually came out. It released in February, so there was a couple of gigs before that where I was just testing it out. So like when it was out, I wanted to have that feeling of everyone knowing the songs and then being excited when you hear them, because that's something that was quite new to me. I had a house party, and see when I'd put that on, like people would actually go crazy. And I'd be like, "Here, this is a really good feeling." Like people actually not only are about to sing all the lyrics with you, but like the second they hear that, it's just sort of like I love that feeling, and I knew that like that's the one thing that I missed out on because I had one gig on the day of the release in Aberdeen, so I didn't really sort of get to even promote it properly because I was doing a gig that day, and it wasn't even just like a gig in Glasgow or Edinburgh. It was obviously Aberdeen, so I was away fucking other side of the country. But I did perform it there, but again, it was my birthday as well, so like it just I've not had that thing where it's just like everyone already knowing the songs and getting to play them. So
that must be because the house party obviously had a great video to it as well. So that I think it makes a big difference, doesn't it? Because when you release a music video, then it means that everyone's going to watch it, not just your friends and your super fans, but just people maybe on the outside just sort of looking in. So that's where you're going to get that big pop when your song goes off, which is a nice feeling. I think we just need to do. I think as a scene, we just need to make more music videos. I think that we can be quite lazy in this country to do it, or maybe not lazy, just skint or tired.
That's always
exhausted.
My thing was when I wanted to, again, I've done this 10 years and I've released lots of projects, but the one thing is videos, and it was something. There was always a rule. Again, I did leave it too late, but my sort of rule was that I know a lot of rappers when they first started rapping released a video or something like that, and then again years pass and they're like, this is cringy to me. And I always say to myself, was that I wanted to make sure if I was going to put out videos that it's something that I'm at least not going to cringe at, because I've already had again that whole experience with Time Lord, like knowing that like there's like videos of you being a younger rapper and maybe not as good. Like maybe other people like it, but I just totally don't. And I needed to make sure that if I'm releasing any videos, even if it might be few and far between, that it has to be a song that I would be like I fuck with basically, because I'm my biggest critic. Like I hate. I would say I end up like loving my music on the build up to the release, and then when it's out, not really fucking with it, and then going back to liking it about 3 in the morning when I'm drunk on a Saturday, like this isn't too bad. And then other times, this is fucking like it's not terrible. It's just again like I'm always working on about 3 or 4 different albums. So whatever album I'm working on now, I'm working on the next one always. So I'm always my mind's always somewhere else, which is not always great, but it's just the way I work. I can't really help it. Not find any other way to do it.
I remember. I think my favourite time I seen you live was Broadcast. Is that right?
Probably, yeah. I always get mixed up with the Glasgow venues, but I'm sure I've played there.
I think it was Broadcast you were playing, and you smashed it. And you nearly played Mugstock, but I don't think you did play Mugstock. I think I booked you to play Mugstock, and you didn't play. I can't remember what was the story with that.
That was crazy. That was Case One. He had some sort of like hip hop showcase or something that he had, and he was going to get loads of rappers down. And I took the train to Milgai, and honestly, man, like I was there by myself as well. No one came with me or that, so I'm just sitting on my ones in a place I've never been before, and then I had very little money as well, so I like got the taxi from the train station to Mugstock, and see, you know what it's like. You're going up there and you see the hills beside you. Like I had a fucking one of like I think I had my third panic attack ever looking at them hills, and then fucking went up to the place and I got there. I'm like, right, it's fine. I've just got a fine case. Try to text him and that my battery is quite low. I'm like, okay, this is dumb. Couldn't find him. I walked around the whole Mugstock, could not find him at all. And then when I was on my way out, thinking this is done, I can't do it. I was sitting my board like I can't do this. Like I've got to leave. Like I'm shitting myself. I'm around a place of people I don't know. All this kind of. It was just like so much. And then I seen you on the way out, like just getting off the bus, and then I talked. I was like, I can't find cases. Like you can come on to our set if you want, but it's about 9 o'clock. I'm like, I gotta go. I appreciate it, bro, but I gotta go. I was a different man back then.
Yeah, it's quite mad that if living in the city and the scheme's so much that like the hills is actually can give you the fear. But I kind of know what you mean. I do know what you mean. But it's like that's where people go to get away from it all, to feel better and to feel less anxiety. But I suppose it's not really a fair shout though, because you're obviously you're running late and you've got a gig to go to and you're alone, and it's just it's a bit too much. It's just a kind of everything at once type vibe. You know what I mean? But with them, so obviously that was probably the best gig you never played. What is the best gig you have played?
The thing is, I've actually had a pretty decent run of gigs. I think the best one in memory is one up in Glasgow. Kirsty Gilhilly, one of my friends, she put on the show, and it was like me, Weedy, oh god, I'm gonna forget, Wraith, a couple other people, I think, but that was a gig that I didn't expect much from. I think it was like a Tuesday or something like that. But the place ended up being packed, like, and she was apologising. She was like, "I'm so sorry, this is like not that packed." I'm like, "You've never seen a Scottish hip hop show before, have you?" There's 6 rappers in front of me, like this is brilliant. And then like someone as well as that, man, someone I know took a full video, like stood with her phone for like I think it was like the 20-25 minutes just, and I mean I love him for it because I've been able to watch it back and like there's a different thing when you can see yourself back, because it's when I just started getting to the point where I'm playing gigs but not having to think too much about it, just like right, let's get this done, rather than being like, shit, what if I'm cringy? What if I say this wrong? What if I do this? Like there's none of that worry, you're just sort of going with it, and it was just like a seamless, like an amazing gig. Like again, big wise, I don't think I've actually done any massive sort of. I've not even supported anyone cool. I always say support.
Well, actually, I think someone supported you though.
Oh God, yeah. We're gonna talk about this, aren't we? We're gonna talk about this.
Yes. The people need to know. The people need to know. They're gonna love it. They're gonna love this story. In fact, in fact, I was going to say let everyone guess who supported you, but fucking Jails will give it away. Won't it? Fuck's sake, Jails.
Probably Jails. Don't say shit. Let everyone else say
shit, because what we're going to watch House Party.
Yeah.
And we'll ask people guess who supported Spawn Zero. And it's a big name. It's a big name.
Big name. I'm talking Ariana Grande big, but it's no her.
Big. That big, but not that big. Yeah. So we've got we're going to play that just now. Tell us about House Party. So House Party, am I right in saying that doesn't appear on either of the albums? Was this just a?
No, this was like a single. It was just sort of like, this is the song. This is going to be my first.
It didn't fit. It didn't fit in with the concept of the album and stuff.
Yeah, and also it's like, Kid Robotics sent me that beat so long ago. It's crazy, and I had that song sitting for nearly a year before I even released it. So like, I've got a few songs like that, but like that, it just came off. So it just happened so seamlessly, and again, like any really good song you make, it just happens out of nothing. And again, stuff with a hook, man. Like that's when I'm just starting to get any sort of like D&M melodies in my hooks, and it was quite good for that to be well received too, because it was something that I was really worried about. I was like, people are going to fucking think I'm shit. So like, I was so glad it turned out the way it did.
Check it out. Let us know in the comments who you think supported Spawn Zero, and let us know what you make of this tune.
empty pizza boxes, baggies from the weed I bought. I should clean this, rather catch up on the sleep I've lost over and over. Like, do I really need this job? What I really need right now is a toilet with the reach to vomit. Hearing people in my kitchen having heart to hearts. Love it. Rappers still in the living room going bar for bar. Shut it. Do it or not and fuck it. Even if they write me off, I'm telling them the next cunt of rhyme is getting waited on. Should get my shit together. 26 till shit as ever. It's a low blow. At least your mum's about to kiss it better. Tell it how it is. While others misdirect to lift the pressure. It's 2019. Let's split the check and switch our genders. The world is mine. I want to make the best of it. I'm blessed. I felt dimension shift. I lived when I was meant to quit. Yeah, I'm getting lectured about my money cause I spend it quick. Trapped between these walls with the pain of knowing I'm meant for this. I made this house party a home. I'm at this house party alone. I don't know who I'm stalling for. Still waiting for a call. If there's another house party, I'll go. I made this house party a home. I'm at this house party alone. I don't know who I'm stalling for. Still waiting for a call. If there's another house party, I'll go. Everybody either left a charger or a bag of coke. Yeah, they'll probably be back for those. Looks like I'm not the only one that smashed my phone. All I want is peace and a little time just to have alone. Jaw clenches, need to find something to quench my thirst. This water's not the freshest, but I guess it works. If only there was something that could replenish my sense of worth. Ask my family or friends, I've been a mess since birth. Do the name proud O'Donnell stomp the same ground? Tradition is we mask our intellect by being jaked out. You don't have to love me, but don't pull the rug from under me. Getting fucked is cool, I guess I could do with the company. There's enough drugs on Ring of plus one, unless they're the type to fuck with everyone but trust none for now. Let me sit and squalor on a condom. I'll be good tomorrow, I'll hit you up, you should come down. I made this house party a home. I'm at this house party alone. I don't know who I'm stalling for, still waiting for a call. If there's another house party, I'll go. I made this house party a home. I'm at this house party alone. I don't know who I'm stalling for, still waiting for a call. If there's another house party, I'll go. Ha!
You want weirdo or do you want XD?
If you don't really know what's going on, there's a show that also doesn't know what's going on. Call that radio TV. You call that radio. Call that radio TV. You call that radio TV.
We are building a thing. You call that radio TV. We hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube this week. We need 15 more for Twitter. I never talk about Twitter because I just assume that if you're on Twitter, you'll know that we're on Twitter. But what if you're watching this right now and you're on Twitter and you don't know that we're on Twitter? That would be a disaster, and that would have meant that we could have been at 1,000 Twitters ages ago. So go to you call that rad one. I don't know why it wouldn't let me just have you call that radio. You know, it's you call that radio on YouTube, it's you call that radio on Facebook. But on Twitter, it's you call that rad one. We've got Spawn Zero in the house and just enjoying that there. Some love coming that. We've got Mikey saying love the flow in this one. We've got Petra saying love it. Alan says excellent. We've got Jack Hill in the house.
My boy.
Jack Hill. We've got and Ross just adding that mug stock is always a vibe though. So wait, let's get them before we go to the next. Who supported you?
Right. Well, okay. So you need a bit of backstory for this. So Sketchy Beats, the legend of Sketchy Beats. When they first opened, they put on Word put on hip hop shows there damn near every couple of weeks. So I'm going to say that was like integral to how good I am at playing sets. I'm not just bigging myself up, but playing a set of sketches damn near every like month or every couple of weeks really helped. But so that would mean that we'd also a constant venue. The clothing company that I don't own, I own with my friends. mandate, we had our first ever sort of like event night thing, and we had it at Sketchy Beats. And this is at a time where the person, okay, I'll just say, my friend. Okay, I better not go into that before he gets out. Yeah, we basically managed to book Lewis Capaldi because it was obviously way before he blew up. Not way before; it was probably like not even a year before he blew up. And then, yeah, so like Lewis Capaldi went on first before there was a girl on afterward. Bless her soul. She was like a karaoke singer, and she was just doing like wee ballads, ABBA ballads, and that. But then, but for Lewis Capaldi to set a bar like that, like I've still got a video on my Instagram, and like everyone was just like silenced. Like it was it was beautiful. Like I ain't gonna sit and say like I'm a little bit annoyed. Like you hear his songs on radio all the time, so it was a little bit funny. But see, for just see this guy just sit there with his guitar and just go for it, and I was just like, oh my god, like it was incredible. Like it really like silenced the full place. It was beautiful. But then yeah, so then that I was saying that girl went on, and then it was I don't know if Gmo played as well. But yeah, and then it was we were like the headline set hip hop, and I mean, we were still good in that. But I mean, and obviously we tried to do a thing where it was different genres rather than just like loads of rappers playing. But yeah, he should not have went first. He should have went last and just stayed there all night. It was crazy, man. I think he got paid like I don't know even know if I think he got paid in beer and fucking not by my choice, by the way. That wasn't in my department. Yeah. But yeah, like it was crazy, man. And I swear to God, like I was trying to get I wanted a collab or some shit like that. So I went up to him, I was like, it was an amazing set, man. It was absolutely crazy. Shook his hand, all that crap. And then about a couple of months later, I was like, I need to try and get at least a hook for him or something like that. And then out of nowhere, like it fucking blew the fuck up. It was absolutely mental. So
yeah,
my shit,
his DMs might be a little bit busy just now, I think, for that collab.
Yeah. I'm never gonna get that. Man, I don't think it would have got at me even back then anyway, but I mean, bless them, man. It was, at least I can say my shite claim to fame is that Lewis Capaldi supported me, but I mean, look where he is, and then look where I am. Like, I'm not exactly raking in the bucks, but it's still good. It's all good. It's all good.
Lewis Capaldi is one of the best name drops we've had on the show yet.
The name drop.
You call that radio?
Yes.
Great, excellent name drop.
Honored.
Do you know what? I was actually, there was a thread the other day where you were talking with, was it Susan, talking about doing a versus battle on our Capture Works card. Now, sadly, I'd already kind of sorted all that, but I'm really interested in that as a concept, maybe in a future show. Hopefully we won't need future shows. Hopefully gigs will be back soon, but I have a feeling that we're looking at, maybe some outdoor events, spring, summer, and maybe gigs back next September is what it looks like realistically just now. So, if that is the case, then there will be more Capture Works shows maybe every couple of months. Or, I mean, ideally it'd be good to do it monthly, but it's just it's a lot of work. It's expensive to get that production level there. But man, I like the idea of one. It's something that I've actually done in the past because I actually like someone playing a song and someone playing a song, and it shouldn't have to be in a pure competitive way. I just think I'm quite interested in seeing it would make. I think it would make people raise their game each song. They get a chance to get a breath. I'm not saying it's going to be the same as a gig. It's actually something just a wee bit more interesting, and maybe it would make it more interesting for the audience who are tuned in online to kind of get involved in. And I know that the Versus has been kind of doing quite well in America. When you call that radio, we do the Square Go, which is, like Friday I was battling Wales, and he would play a Welsh hip hop song, and then I'd play a Scottish hip hop song. Sometimes it's Glasgow versus, another city, just to try and sort of do it. Because I do quite like the idea of it. So definitely maybe do that in the future. So is Susan the one that you would be up for if that was to happen?
Oh, 100%. I love Susan, man. Like he is one of my favorite. Him and Technique, are like one or two. I don't like. I never ever say that one person is my favorite rapper in Scotland, but they two are some of my favorite rappers in Scotland, especially Tech as well.
Who's your top three?
Oh, right now it literally changes every week. At the moment, because I've heard something and it's going to come out real soon, is Gmo. He's sort of always been in at least my top 5 or top 3. Like I love that boy, man.
I've got a wee advanced listen as well. It's Wow, he's on some Mac Miller vibes or something.
Yeah, man, that I don't even like calling it an EP. It's like a short album because it's beautiful. It's better than most people's like 20 track like albums and that. It's just so fucking well done,
Listen, you
man.
don't need 20 tracks. Do you know what I mean?
Nah,
I think in
not
hip
at all.
hop we're all guilty of it. Like I
Yeah,
think the number I always try and go for is 14. Is what I
yeah,
quite like for hip hop.
that's good.
But
Yeah,
I don't think. I think that's a bit much. I mean, right now I'm working on an album, and I think I'm going to just try and maybe do it 10, unless I add in skits separately. But I prefer to kind of just drop the skits in at the end, because that's another new thing about streaming is if someone goes and clicks on your random song and it's just a fucking skit, does that not ruin people's playlists and stuff?
yeah,
I don't know. So
yeah,
maybe just stick it at the end of a song, then you might be
yeah.
ruining a song. Who knows? So
No,
it's
it's
all
a,
computers these days. It's so different.
yeah, no. So you're thing to think about, man, because I did that with whatever makes you happy as well. Like I used to be really big on just big albums because I just assumed that everyone would listen to them. With LIV, the last we try and go up every one. So the first one we released was 10 tracks. The second one we released was something like 19 or 18, and then the third one we got 29 tracks. Now I don't think that people maybe listen to, or maybe they do eventually, but again, it's just one like the amount of times that I share a tune, someone's like, "This is amazing! I've never heard this. Is this new?" I'm like, "Nah, this is like fucking 4 years old." Like, wake up! But I get it, man, because as a listener myself, and I'm sort of seeing that now, like the fans, maybe like, well, sort of like the younger people anyway. Let's say the younger people, but like the sort of attention span for music is unless you really really love the artist, you're not going to sort of sit there for like 12 up to 10 to 17 tracks listening to them unless you absolutely adore them. And like I always wonder, is single, like a lot of people just releasing singles and then maybe releasing an album after that. I kind of like that concept because it gives people a chance to sort of take in each tune. But again, it's one of those things, if you're an album
But
listener,
then,
you like
yeah,
that,
but then the problem is that people going to a lot of people buy the album to hear this new shit. So if you're releasing every single out before it happens, I suppose maybe there's maybe a
Yeah.
middle ground in there somewhere where it's like
Definitely.
release 3 or 5 songs, and then the other 5 come out or something like that. It's maybe the middle ground. But yeah, it can be difficult. I mean, I do like that. I like an album and I like a long album as well. But I mean, I'm struggling to listen to the new Gasp album from start to finish. And obviously, I love Gasp, massive fan of
Yeah,
Gasp.
same. I totally agree.
It's
Yeah.
30 odd songs, and to do an album justice, you do need to listen to it from start to finish. But it's trying. I'm really busy just now, so try to find that time. And obviously,
Yeah.
it's winter, and normally I like to go a cycle to really let an album soak in. But I'm lazy, and it's
Yeah.
cold. It's
I
icy.
totally feel you.
It's not
Totally.
safe. It's not safe cycling weather for me. For this lazy bastard, I'm just using that as an excuse. So
No, I hear you.
yeah, but I mean, I think everybody just do what you want. Do what you want. But yeah, I think that some people need to just calm it down. Obviously, Gas has got a high quality writing. He's got, you know, it's going through a censorship in his head of is it good before it even reaches the pad. So, you know, he can get away with it. But I think maybe other people should just kind of stick to sort of shorter projects. And the Gmo one is exceptional. And I think that he should just release it as it is. I think to do more of that again would maybe take away the power of it. So I think he's just nailed it. And I like the idea of what you're saying, short album. I mean, you've got that way. I mean, short albums always tend to win the Scottish Album of the Year now as well, don't they? It's happened a few times now. With Young Fathers
like
won
that
it.
near
What was like
EPs, yeah.
an EP, Nova Scotia, The Truth was kind of like a long EP or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah. So we've got. I wanted to ask you about your Insta videos as well, because you seem to be doing a lot of stuff on there. You've made me laugh a few times on that. Is this are you going down a viral comedian route, or are you just
A
trying
lot of
to?
Oh, sorry.
Or are you just bored and filling in time, or what's the script?
It's kind of, yeah, it's not that glamorous. It's kind of that. It started off just whenever, obviously, me and Kev, or me and Bars Fury, we make music every Friday. So we're always recording, even if we're not, like, we're all basically every Friday we're at it, like, always recording. And then usually after we've done all our stuff, I'm sitting there, I've got my bottle of wine, I'm usually tanked it by then. And it's just, again, a lot. It started off kind of as boredom because I'd be sitting there while he's sitting at like fixing it all up and mixing the tunes and stuff. I'd just be sitting on the couch, just kind of looking at my phone and stuff like that. So I just try to do something to fill the time because again, I've got such a short attention span. And then it started off with like, yeah, it's just dumb wee videos. But now it's like I kind of enjoy it more now because I do get a lot of messages and people like I'm always making people laugh and stuff. And again, not 9 times out of 10, but a lot of the time I'll do it when I've like had a couple of drinks on a Friday and then I'll see it in the morning and be like, fuck, I don't even remember like posting that. And then it's saying this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, oh, okay. But I don't let that be like my crutch. Like I do a lot of them when I've not had as much drink just to make sure that I'm still funny without a drink. But yeah, it's just usually just Friday banter, and then it just yeah. I kind of like comedy, man. Comedy and like rap are really similar in some ways, like, especially like the whole open mics kind of thing and how they really care about their writing and it's got to be delivered well. And us, there's so many sort of synonymous things with comedy and writing, and I've always been a little bit of a sort of clown, so like I've always said that for a joke, if the rap shit never works out, as if I'll never be able to stop rap even if I tried. But like I would try. I have written like skits and stuff like that, and I've written like actual like I'm trying to actually write a full comedy thing. Not that might ever do it, but it's just I try to keep myself occupied with a bunch of different things to keep.
Well, it's actually something that I've been missing with lockdown is that obviously when lockdown began, we started doing this show on an almost daily basis. But before that, You Call That Radio was just an audio podcast where maybe I'd interview someone. But the first half hour, there was I would throw a lot of skits into that. And it was really fun. And I started just getting, getting better at it because you think of something that'd be quite funny. And I think the good thing about doing it audio wise is that all you need is a raindrop sound effect and then you're in the rain. And you know what I mean? So for a guy with no budget, it can be quite fun as well. But yeah, man, I've been enjoying those Insta stuff. So keep that good stuff going, man. Absolutely. And I think maybe the similarities as well with stand-up comedy is of course battle rap. Do you still planning to do more battles, or are you kind of finished with it? What's the script with that?
I've got such a weird relationship with battle rap. That whole thing with Susan about the versus battle. I remember when I originally got at him and says versus battle, and he was like, "Oh, it's got to be a confluence battle." I'm like, I don't think he knew what I meant at the time. I'm like, no, I don't want, because we've actually already battled. Me and Jails battled him and Tech like years ago. It is still online somewhere, but because it was at Bristol, everyone was still skating around us, and the sound quality was utter garbage. So all you can hear, and the cameraman had fucking genius cameraman had us like our backs to like the camera here, our backs to him, and then obviously Wanzu and Tech, I keep calling him Wanzu, Susan and Tech, like facing them. So obviously they could like you could hear them, and you can maybe hear the tiny wee bits if you turn it way up. But in between that, there's all these dumb skateboard sounds, like people like landing fucking kickflips and making such a racket. There's like you can barely hear it. So that's what was funny. Is like I would never want to battle him again. But yeah, we're battling. I don't know. It's kind of dying now. I think that's the only thing that sort of maybe want to go back to it. I think the last thing that I was going to do, Kami Ha. We were going to battle, and it didn't end up happening. I think he pulled out on that one, but I called him out for that. Was the first time ever I'd called someone out, because like every time I'd had a battle, they'd called me out, or there had been some sort of, I'd never like asked to battle anyone. So it was the first time I made a funny video and put it on the hip hop like battle chat thing on Facebook, and was sitting calling him out and did that, and it was quite cool. But then it kind of fizzled out, and then that's what was a line for me. And it wasn't like his fault, but it just sort of like
it's Kamehameha's fault. Fuck's sake, Kamehameha.
You've absolutely destroyed my battle career. I don't like dating it now, but like he wasn't the only one. There was a few others where like I'd really like you prepare so much. Like you're putting all your energy into one person for months, and you've got to try and remember it because you're going to be doing it in front of people. Whereas, and then if that person pulls out or doesn't show up or something like that, you're just sort of like, I've kind of wasted 3 months. I mean, you could rearrange it, but in my experience, I think the only battles I'd ever got rearranged were one, and that was the one I'd done with Subconscious. But like, yeah, it was just I hated the fact that I love making songs. Like that is like one of the like my best things to do in life. I literally like I love it. So it was like, if I've got to take time out of that to use all that energy for one person and they don't show up or don't want it, like, it kind of fucked it for me, man. Even though I really enjoy it, like, but I kind of don't miss the sort of panic before it and all that kind of shit, like, and having to remember all those bars. And again, the Scottish battle rap used to be crazy. It used to be like hundreds of people, well, not 100, but I mean 100 to 200 people around you. So it used to be a totally different vibe, whereas now you'll be lucky to get like 20, 30 people in a venue. So I don't know, man. Maybe when the time's right again, but even battle rap all around the UK, and maybe I don't know about like US, but again, I've not watched it as much, and I used to be a massive battle rap fan, and I've heard that for a few other, like, so I don't know, man.
Yeah, I suppose it's that vicious cycle of the fact that there's many people tuned into it, means that people are maybe more likely to just go, oh fuck it, I can't be arsed with it, pull out a battle, and you are all that prep time. It's absolutely horrific, man. I mean, I know that genuine things do happen, but
Definitely.
still, man, I've never cancelled a gig myself, so it's just that to me, it's just like it's the lowest of the low why you would do that. And I think maybe it's just someone's nerves. I think that's normally what's happened is they've just got a bit nervous and they don't think they're good enough. They've got self-conscious about, actually, this is shite, I'm going to get destroyed.
100%.
And it's like, wait, okay, I'm not getting paid. I'm going to get the piss ripped at me. And there's hardly anyone going to see it. What's the point? And maybe that's the issue that needs to get resolved somehow, because now you've got that vicious cycle of, because people are pulling out events. That means when, there's shouts to iron bars and stuff like that, putting a lot of work into making these events. And then if people are showing up, but the main battles are not there, there's only 2 battles instead of 6 battles, and the ones everyone's looking forward to don't happen, then those people that have came out to the show, are they going to come back when they've just kind of witnessed a bit of a shambles event? So then it's just that, it's just kind of a vicious cycle, a bad event feeds into less people.
Yeah. Do you know what the shift to me, I think, is because when I first, like, again, maybe about 7 years ago, when anyone first started rapping in Scotland, because battling was so big, like, if you wanted to get any of your music heard, you had to battle. It was like a damn near a rule. Like, to get your name heard in any way in the Scottish hip hop scene, you had to battle. Whereas now, that's what I think is a weird shift that's maybe even just happened in the past year or two, where, like, it's you can just put your music on any of the Facebook pages or stuff like that, and that'd be it straight away. Which I think is a way different, like, because I think that's why I said this year, man. It's a bit of a hot take, but there's been a lot of not great Scottish hip hop music being championed, whereas it's been a brilliant brilliant year for Scottish hip hop. I don't like calling it Scottish hip hop, but everyone knows what.
Well, I know, man, I'm the same. Hip hop
from
Scotland.
Yeah, hip hop from Scotland, but
that's the difference, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think there's a shift where the bad stuff gets championed, and I think that's why, man, I've been really. I keep saying it myself. I'm getting older, and I don't want to be the angry old head that's telling people what to do. But I feel like I've been sitting saying this stuff on Facebook about new rappers, or the thing, like, whether it's people changing their accents or just lying about their life or talking about their, like, as if they're gangsters. Like, how drill is a big thing right now, and they've obviously got to make out like they're gangsters, but, like, they're 15-year-olds with like balaclavas on, and it's just like there's been a wee shift where not enough people are telling them, be a bit realer to yourself. Like, I get that some music you've got to sort of pretend to live that life, but when there's, like, hip hop artists in Scotland putting on, like, American accents and stuff like that, I feel like we've came way too far. Like, I don't even think it's that cringy to hear a Scottish rapper now than it maybe was like 5-10 years ago, whereas it's just getting flipped on its head again. Like, there's all these rappers that just put, like, that says, oh, I just think it's easier to listen to. I'm like, well, you shouldn't be doing hip hop then, because you're not real to yourself. It's not genuine. It's not authentic, and that's the main thing. I don't want to be. Someone say, the white boy's talking about what hip hop really is. I'm like, right, I get it, but I've been in the fucking shit for 10 years. I've been rapping damn near every fucking day since then. It's like, I don't want to be that angry old head, but I also don't want to be say nothing, because when people say nothing, this stuff gets allowed, and it's like, am I the only one who hears this? I don't know, man. Like, I think honestly,
I agree. I think being authentic is important, not just in hip hop. I think that just being an artist or being a person, being authentic is important. You know what I mean? So for things that I like, I know that there's exceptions to the rule. Being an actor,
Shit.
If you're an
Yeah.
actor, then fucking
Go
hell,
ahead.
be fake. You want to be good at being someone else and playing a role. And, you know, I'm sure it's, I think modelling and stuff's probably another art where you've got to, faking is good, you know, to play the role of a character.
Yeah.
But I think, I think if you want
I
to
get exaggeration and stuff like that, but I mean, you can exaggerate things, and I get it's like we rap and stuff like that. You don't have. I mean, I'm not trying to be like you've got to say you've got to be Abraham Lincoln, but like you just be a bit real with yourself. Like, could you look yourself in the mirror and be like, yeah, I sell all them drugs, or like I make this much money, but still live with my mum. Like, really?
And if you're looking in the mirror and the answer is yes, you are selling all them drugs, then maybe you shouldn't be grassing yourself on the record. You know what I mean? You're grassing yourself in. You know, number one rule: no grassing.
No grassing.
Don't grassing your, and that includes yourself. You know what I mean? Don't grassing yourself.
Especially.
Jesus Christ, you're grassing in yourself. So yeah, I think with the accent thing, yeah, I agree. The also that doesn't mean that, you know, there's lots of people in the Scottish scene who don't have Scottish accents, so that's fine. Don't put on a Scottish accent. Don't be
definitely not. Oh no,
don't trying to put on an accent. Don't be put on, you know, if you're from Aberdeen, don't be trying to sound Ouija. You know, it's not. It's about trying to just represent yourself as best as you can. And you know, and some people don't have an accent at all. Some people are quite neutral sounding.
Yeah.
That's fine. Also,
I know there's a lot of English artists as well. Like I know there's like people like Sp6ix9. I always say him because he's sort of my go-to. I love Sp6ix9, but like there are like Sp6ix9, Conscious Root. I think of more, but you know what I mean. There are rappers
Tickle,
yo, and he's incredible.
From Delighted Peoples, Texture. Yeah, man. There's people that have got accents that are they sound
and
different.
they rep us. Like it's like they may not come from Scotland, but like they rep Scottish hip hop, which is like again like. I don't know if anyone from Scotland would rep, you know, like UK hip hop down south. I don't know if it would work the same way. So that's why I got a lot of respect for them. Like they do their thing, man, and I love them pieces. They're amazing musicians too.
Absolutely, and I think that I'm guilty of it as well. When somebody's asking for your top 5 or your top 10, you forget about these guys sometimes, and you just need to be mindful of that because you know they're from this country. And they're doing some amazing things for hip hop in this country, so we do need to remind ourselves of that. Absolutely. What I was going to ask you as well, man, is about the freestyling. We've got a freestyle. What one was it again? You wanted to? You think? What's your best freestyle? What's your best freestyle?
One, I'll go with the front seat freestyle I did with DB.
Do you know what? Can we not do that one because?
Oh yeah,
I think that they will definitely copyright.
Flag us. Yeah,
they will flag me for that shit. So yeah, man. Your second favorite one?
Grafton Media. I'll go for that. It was pretty old, but it holds up. It holds up. Tom Pepper.
Okay, well, tell us a little bit about that then. Set the scene.
Yeah. So this is from Permo, my first album. It's called Grow Up. It is on the album too because it was originally a song. I don't like calling it freestyle, but yeah. It's basically about me like a lot of it is literal, like damn near direct to how I was growing up. Like so. Yeah. That was kind of fun. That was the first time that I probably wrote about myself where it wasn't too cringy or stuff. In my eyes, too cringy. So like, and I still holds up. So I still like it. So that's a big thing to me. If I like it, then it's good.
Young Spawn Zero. Let us know in the comments what you make of this. And remember, he was only young back in the day.
I'm Spawn Zero. It's my first Grafton Media freestyle. Big up LIV, big up everybody doing the shit. Big up Kid Robotic on the beat. And big up Edinburgh for being freezing. That's better. Okay, alright. Get all my albums, you cunt. I see everything in black and white, like Walter Kovacs. Existence as comfortable as a cold bath. I was under this impression I'd end up just like my old man, forever destined to live and grow up and gold cash. So downplay my goals like I'm not supposed to have them, man. I pray this makes them understand exactly why I throw these tantrums. You got excuses? I know them backwards. I was raised with decent manners, but had to set my own standards. I wasn't raised correctly, and my circumstances made it hard for them to gauge the part of playing what I'd gain if they departed. If I wasn't pushed away, I wouldn't create the space of darkness or the inspiration to take my place as a nameless artist. Don't brush me off with the same remarks that you break the hearts with. Like anything I do or say, my views and plays are harmless. Don't forget my race just started. I'm just here to leave reminders like wine that's staying in your carpet. It's not as cool as you said it. After school I descended in the adulthood like I was fooled by what was presented. I was taking different lanes with the cruelest intentions. I've been in many crashes, but I was never pulled from the wreckage. It was bullying you mental. That's why I'm so bitter now and why I'm partly demented. Pardon my French, but fuck, I wish I learned another language. But I've wasted years of cunts who ain't concerned or understanding. If I was told from the start this is what would have happened, I'd have kept my wits about me so I could reduce the damage. Went from breaking the system to wearing symbolic branding. So who the fuck am I to talk about what position you stand in? Life is tedious, these endless chores are meaningless. Rolling through life without having all the ingredients. Raised on a staple of restrictions and obedience, and character is built in what we see and what's experienced. With that said, don't cut me slack cause I'm surrounded by death. Don't cut me off with all the doubt in your head. The fact I'm where I'm at without the lessons you fed me only confirms I had better use of the time you invested. Now I'm sipping this single malt and some tap water. Like I can't be the only one that's bothered. They can't stomach the evidence, it's like land to the slaughter. You can eat or leave and that is my last offer. Started wasting all my wage, the absence of my parents meant I had to skip the basics. So I'm sorry if you show up and I'm too big to reciprocate it. I fucking hate this. Growing up is so fucking overrated. I wish you waited. But too much time has passed and now you've been replaced, bitch.
Brothers and sisters,
Is that you, Daniel? Are you before me?
You call that radio?
Hello? Hello, yes, this is Dog.
As you call that radio TV, I just want to give a big shout out to our new Patreons, Kath, Louise, Mo, Tam, Andrew, Martin, Colin, Susan, and Bomb Scare, who have all signed up this month for the Patreon. If you want to help us build the thing, it's that's the link there. It wouldn't be possible without the patrons. We've got through this year, just about. We've nearly got through this year because of your support. And yeah, thank you very much. We're going to have a raffle, actually. It's raffle time. What's the raffle again? What's tonight's raffle? Does anyone remember what tonight's raffle is? I forgot. We've got Spawn Zero. I believe Spawn Zero might have an exclusive for me while I figure out the raffle prize for tonight. I do have a raffle prize. I've just been a bit busy today, man. I've not caught up with myself today at all. It's been one thing after the other. So,
bro, you don't need to make any excuses. You're busy and you've done your shit. Like,
yeah, I'm just not really with it today. So, yeah, let's get back on track. What I figure out, because we're trying to do a raffle every day in December. I'll figure out the price and get back to you in a minute with that. What's this exclusive? I'm hearing rumours. I'm hearing whispers of exclusive.
Yeah, so yeah, it's just something for my next album. The only good thing about lockdown is I managed to make basically a full album. So this one is one of my favorite songs I've ever written. So this is called it's called 8 AM in Broxbourne, and it's just kind of like I think it's just fun to listen to. Jazz Williams on the beat also as well, and he mixed and mastered it. It's just a very good song that I made, which is a big deal for me if I can actually say that. So.
Amazing stuff, man. Well, before we need, I either need you to send me the WAV, or I need you to just make that public, or whatever.
I'll chuck you the WAV right now.
So do you want an email address?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll do that. I'll send it. So you send me the email address to that, and I can just play it. I should be able to just play it on the browser or Dropbox or something. Let's go to the comments just now. West Side. Oh, that's a good name. West Side. Very solid tone. Real familiar rhythm on point.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Alan Rodison says something cringy about white guys from Scotland trying to rap as if they're from LA or New York.
100.
I totally agree with that. And I think, like you said, it's the Scottish cringe seems to be not as bad as it was 10 years ago. The idea of anyone rapping in a Scottish accent was a lot for people to take on. I think maybe there's an element of, you've got the rise of certain people like Stanley Odd and Loki and stuff like that, but also the independence movement as well, because I know there was a lot of people in the independence movement who hated Scottish rap, and I think they had to get their head around that, and it was like, well, if you're going to talk about Scottish culture, then what is the problem here? Why do you like poetry? Why do you like poetry and comedy in a Scottish accent, but when you put an absolute banger of a beat behind it, you start cringing? What is wrong with you? Eh?
Yeah,
What's
that's
wrong
it.
with you?
What's wrong with you? Come
What's
on,
wrong with you?
talk to yourselves. Yeah, word.
And I think that just loads of bands, just Scottish bands embracing the Scottish accent as well. Because when I started my band, it was like if you sung in a Scottish accent, they hit you with, Proclaimers chat.
That crap.
And
Yeah,
you don't hear that anymore. And I think, you've got Las Vegas, Frightened Rabbit, all this stuff that's happened since then. So people aren't calling you the Proclaimers for singing in your accent anymore. In fact, people are embracing. Amazing Snakeheads is another great one. That evil Scotsman sound, the fucking great. Mickey Nines do it quite well when they do the, Rang With You song and stuff like that. It's that embracing the evil Scotsman. It sounds shit hot with loud guitars behind it. So we've got all that going on. It was stupid that we cringed about the accent anyway. Let's just get over it. And if you're still cringing, then you're wrong and you need to get over it. That's not to say you like it all, because there's lots of shite out there as well. But I think the problem is that we don't say when someone's in a shite band, we don't say all bands are shite. But that's the problem that we've had with hip hop. Someone's heard someone rap a Scottish accent that were shite, so everything's shite. What says you about all of that while I get this set up?
It's weird, man. Obviously, before I started rapping, I've been in bands and stuff like that. I used to play drums and I play guitar and stuff, and I've written a good few songs and stuff. But I did actually used to start. I started singing in a Scottish accent because of Paolo Nutini. I loved his shit when I was in high school and stuff before I probably got into hip hop. And I was writing songs I've been writing songs since I was like 13. I mean, they were crap when back then, but I was in bands and stuff, and I think I was on a band from 13 to 17, played a bunch of gigs and stuff like that, but we were terrible. And then I started another one with a friend, and that's when I just started I was like, right, I'm going to sing in a Scottish accent rather than this fake American thing, because it felt weird to me even before I'd even heard of Scottish hip hop. So it was kind of natural for me to go to Scottish hip hop, because when I first heard it, I was like, here, this is what I've been doing with the dumb singing stuff I was doing. I was like using your accent, and I loved rap, how it's so direct and you can just write about I was a drummer and a vocalist, so I was always in the back and I was always doing some dumb shit but it was nice but I get it some Scottish accents are a little harder to bear than others, but I mean the more people use it, and again I don't hate anyone that doesn't use it, but if you can do it, the people that do it well, all the big ones anyway, like Palanatini or Jerry Cinnamon and stuff like that. Not really personally love them myself, but they know how to sing in their accent. Kind of like Biffy Clyro, but they sound like Chookters. I know it's weird coming from me, but like a Chookter singing.
Well, Biffy Clyro are from Ayrshire, and I love Kilmarnock, I believe. Yeah, and I've got a lot of respect for Biffy Clyro for what they've done and stuff. But yeah, it was just never. I think the wrong age or something. It just didn't kind of connect with me. But I remember seeing them at Teen the Park when they were still unsigned, and I just love to see a band that works that hard and works for that long. They weren't, there's that overnight success thing.
No, man.
No, man, they were playing all the shite tents at Teen the Park every year.
Yeah, they sold their souls, man. Because I seen posters and one of my best friends in high school, his big brother, he had a Biffy Clyro poster up, and I was like, who the fuck are they? And this is like I must have been about 10 or something like that. And then obviously they got huge with all the songs they put, and I was like, I mean, they either got crazy good or they sold their souls, because there's a total change in their music as well. I don't know. Same with Kingsley Leon. they were still good before they were famous, but then they got really fucking famous. It's like, nah, you're just so. I'm joking. Obviously, they're probably just really good musicians and got really good, but it's crazy. It's crazy how people blow up, even though after working so long.
Well, I love the early Kings of Leon stuff. They were
Definitely.
it was quite an exciting time, and then the album when it first came out, I remember I bought the album when it first came out, and I was excited by it. And it was initially it felt quite cool and it felt quite fresh, but it was almost like a different band. It's almost like good on them, but just it was no longer for me, you know. It wasn't for a young angry stoner anymore. It was for something else. It was for someone else, and yeah. So if that's not came through yet, I don't think, man. Is that still loading? That tune?
Dear. I mean, no, I did send it off. Hold up, I'll just check my
I'll
send.
just double check that's when. Okay.
You call that radio? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
At gmail.com.
Yep. No, it's sent.
It's sent, and is this a wee transfer or is this what is this?
I'll see. Maybe I should have done a so I'm just going to do.
Will you do that? I'm going to tell people. I'm going to give people an exclusive. I'm going to give them an exclusive while you do that, man. So we've got, as you know, tomorrow night we've got the build up to the big one. The big one being this on Saturday. So between tonight and tomorrow, I'm going to find a replacement for the Fast Camels. If anyone's got any suggestions, then let me know soon. There's a few people that I've contacted. So fingers crossed that we'll have a big announcement tomorrow. I've also got to announce the well, it's not really a cipher as such. It's the class of 2021. What we're going to do is we're going to get 5 of the best MCs who are all going to do a couple of tunes each, 2 or 3 songs each. So it's an amazing lineup. I really want to tell you who it is, but I'm going to wait till tomorrow so that you will tune in tomorrow to find out all about it. We're also going to be speaking to Bomb Scare, the Rag and Bone Man, and some of the people that I can't announce yet. So that's tomorrow night. The big one's on Saturday. Thursday, we've got the pub quiz. Fright with Alan Bissett, Hannah, Tim Curry, hopefully Hugh Reid, and loads more. So we've got that. And then, now this is the announcement. Exclusive. The Age of Aquarius. So apparently we're going into an entire new age. This last age has lasted ages, I believe. Tens of thousands of years. I don't really know much about the Age of Aquarius. I remember first hearing about it, I don't know, 12, 13 years ago when Zeitgeist came out, whenever that was. But apparently, Age of Aquarius begins on Monday, along with the summer of the winter solstice, which means that the days are going to start getting lighter again. It's going to stop getting darker and darker. It's going to start getting lighter. So that's something to look forward to, innit? We've got Chris Herring, we've got Texture, and Joe Dark, plus lots more. It's going to be some pretty far out, spooky, weird, experimental chat that may or may not be true. I'm looking forward to that. On Tuesday, we've got Colin Mustard and Dijon 5, who are going to be talking about Christmas. As you can see, I'm doing kind of sort of a new style of flyer that's less effort. Look, there's zero smiler on. And yeah. Okay. It's SoundCloud. Okay. Yeah. You just made it public. That's great, man. We can just take it down straight after. Don't worry about that. We'll play the tune first. So yeah, wait, one more time. So let people. What is this song? What is it, and why is it?
Yeah, this is kind of like I'm trying to make the next album sort of like an offshoot of I'll try and an offshoot of whatever makes you happy, as well as setting the tone for like a new. I'm really big on concepts right now, so a lot of my music recently has been quite like sort of kind of selfish, because I'm talking about my own experiences and stuff like that. So now I'm trying to get more conceptual and still again talk about myself in a way where I'm not trying to be like not sounding like I'm trying to talk about myself sort of thing. So this was like the first song I think I made for the album, and I think I made it like over a year ago again, but it's one of my favorites now. It's crazy. Yeah.
Looking forward to hearing this. Let us know in the comments what you make of this.
8 AM, still tripping, man. I think I did too much. I see the sun coming through the curtain shut, and that's too much. The walls are moving, should I crash or have a tab and wrap it up? Way too many drugs, I'm weak, still don't feel like it's enough. Is it fuck? You I might be out my face, but I don't really feel as dumb. This isn't working. It's not the end of the night yet. Technically it isn't even night at all. Let's put some work in. Unless someone finds some amphetamines, we'll get lost in the moment and lose our minds. Or burn bridges with brothers that turn bitches. It's decision time for all of you fuds that turn vicious. Wait, I'm too melted to be negative. I changed my mind, please don't tell them that I said that shit. 12 p.m. should have went to bed a year ago. Too late now, everybody's leaving. It's me, myself, and this beer I hold. On live, 2 viewers, great crowd. The fear is setting in. Hopefully my family don't see this. Watch me slur my speeches. I compare myself to Jesus, like I died and emerged from the ashes like a phoenix. I don't need advice, you can keep it. I don't want advice, you can. I won't collab, but I'll take your beats to remix. I could care less what you've done or who your team is. We did this all ourselves, no help, we built this LIV shit.
How do we educate our children to take their place in the economies of the 21st century? How do we do that, given that we can't anticipate what the economy will look like at the end of next week? Every country on Earth is trying to figure out how do we educate our children so they have a sense of cultural identity and so that we can pass on the cultural genes of our communities while being part of the process of globalization. How do we square that circle?
You call that radio?
Makes a coherent sense.
It's rap time. But before we do that, let's just acknowledge that tune, man. That sounds absolutely brilliant.
Thank you. Thank you, man.
Loving that. Loving that. And then where have we got a date in mind for this album?
Not really. I'm kind of at the stage where I'm waiting on collabs, which you know is the best part of an album.
I'm getting. Oh man, the minute this has been. I've done a lot of collabs, not just this year, but just in general. That I was like, when are they coming out? There's just
I've been there, man. Yeah, it's so like nerve wracking, but yeah, with this stuff, I've kind of said to people round up their collabs by the end of the year, kind of thing, because I didn't think I'd be as far along as I am. So, but I've got some tasty collabs in store. Trust me, it's a little bit different this time too. So I'm mad looking forward to it.
Brilliant stuff.
No
West Side, Andrew West got in the house again, just in time for your raffle. A former raffle winner, former raffle champion. Bill Morrison, all good in Aberdeen, loving the positive vibes and banter. Cheers, guys. Cheers, Bill, for tuning in.
Sure, bro.
And we're saying, getting trailers off my evening coffee.
Yeah.
I think I did too much. Okay, we're going to do a raffle. We're going to do a raffle. We try to do a raffle every day. It's the daft December days, so we thought we'd do a raffle every day. And I can't remember exactly. What was supposed to be, because I've got a note here that says Bomb Scare. It's a Bomb Scare merch pack, which is t-shirts, CDs, and that. But they're going to be on the show tomorrow night, so I'm going to hold back that one, and I'm just going to give away a Gyro Baby CD because I know there's Gyro Baby CDs. So it's a Fetch and Pitchfork CD, and I need to find the random number generator.
I mean, if you want a Permo CD, I'll add that too. If you, I've got a bunch
have
of
you?
Permo CD. I mean, I really do.
If you've got CDs, man, let's do your CD. That would make more sense. That because the Gyro Babies one should be my backup in emergency. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So
Let
let's
me
go for a
say-
Spawn Zero.
Let's do it. I'll do
Spawn
it.
Zero
I'll
kit.
send
Do you have one
a
handy? Do you have one to show off?
100%. So hold up. I'll
Okay, let's see that.
right
I'll get
below
the-
me, right here. Just give me a little stick.
Random. I'll find the random generator thing.
Oh, your pocket. There we go. So it's this motherfucker. It's in the plastic wrap. I am willing to open this because you know. So we got this. We got this. My beautiful album art by my mate Connor Ashcroft. He is a fucking G at what he does. It's beautiful. And let's just rip this open because what?
Let's see it.
Oh, my girlfriend. Oh, see it. So this is it. So big screen. This is okay. Hold up, there's a light here.
Shame.
I can't. I'm trying to get out the light. There we go. There we go. Okay, you know what? I should probably just take the little. Hold on, I'm just gonna take it off. I don't care. I've got loads of them there. Loads of them. I've sold a bunch, but I got way too many when I got them, so I'm more than willing to give one away for a raffle if I can do this. I've not got nails for this because I'm. There we go. Let's see. Come on. Individually
Oh,
packaged,
yeah.
so you know.
That's a good shit. That's a good shit.
My brother. So my girlfriend's an absolute sweetheart. So this is the version where I can just show you like this. This is what the album art looks like, and you got the CD there. So I'm just going to
Bring it
open
up.
this.
Hold on. Yeah.
Look at this.
Oh, yeah.
CD. Your boy, and then look, hold up. Again, shout out Ashcroft, my mate Ashcroft, for the beautiful artwork. Thermo. Yeah. So
and it will be signed.
Well, you know what, it's going to be unpackaged, but you know what? I'll sign it. I'll throw in a picture in there that I'll sign, like a hand drawn picture, because I've still got a few of them. So
Amazing.
this individually packaged and a hand drawn picture from your boy at signed.
Brilliant stuff. Okay, so what we've got here is the random number generator. So just to explain it, it's based on the patrons who go in reverse. So if it's, say, for example, it's number 5, then it's the 5th last person to sign up to Patreon. If it's a low number, I will be able to work it out quickly. If it's a high number, then we'll maybe just play a tune and I'll tell you who the winner is. We're going to need to arrange it. I'm going to, once I have some time off, I'm actually going to figure it out, because I want every patron to have their own membership card so that they've got their own number, so they can get excited by their own number. And for less raffle controversy as well. I've had enough of the controversy. I just want a quiet life. And the winner is 12. Oof.
Number 12?
12. Oh, I think 12 was. Do you know what? This is quite a terrifying number for me. This is not what I wanted, because we had Alan Bissett win with number 6 the other day, and then he won with number 13 the other day, because there was 6 more patrons signed up, and I'm concerned. Was it? No, it can't be, because it was 13. Do you know what? It should be okay. It should be safe enough. Okay, I can work this out. I can work out number 12 pretty easy. So if you just give me a second, I will do that. We will figure that out. Do you want to just talk about your new album just for a minute while I figure out who number 12 is?
Of course. So yeah, my new album. Don't have a name for it yet. I barely got a name for most of the songs, but it's sort of like the overall theme. Sorry, I've had 1 or 2 cans. Is me falling out of love with the stuff that I used to love, whether that's drank, whether that's being too young to do certain things, or falling out of love with a lot of things as I'm getting close to my 30s. Just don't love things like weed and drink as much as I used to. It just feels like they're a bit of a crutch. So I'm rapping about that. I've also got a little kind of side thing on some dark shit that I feel like if I reveal now, it'll just be a bit of a waste. But I'm trying to drag. That's why I'm talking real slow right now, so I can drag this out. I would be a great sort of like side host. If Mark ever needs anything done, I'll just sit here and talk really slowly. And if you all want to just listen to my Spotify and follow me on it, and then the SoundCloud, and then the back, and do the same with Mark. He should have won Scottish hip hop album of the year.
I should have won it. Technically, I won it. Technically, I won it.
You did.
Technically,
you did. I would say you did. That song is better than an award. Trust me.
Yeah, it's a one. Well, I'm going to put it forward as a 1-track album into next year's award ceremony. You know, it's a
Mate, you'll
one-track
probably
album.
have more chance of winning it, apparently, because it's all short stuff that wins. I thought 12 tracks was short, but hey, what the fuck do I know?
It's a one-track album. It's a concept album. And if it's got to be over a certain amount of time, say if it's got to be over 20 minutes, then maybe just 17 minutes of silence would be quite
Yes.
arty. Quite an
Yeah, it
arty
really
ending.
would. Aye. Or like, every 5 minutes, I should have won! I should have won!
We've got good news. We have a winner. It's Oliver Robertson. Shout outs to Oliver Robertson. And I do have an address. I'm just just going to confirm that address. Hold on.
Yeah, maybe not dox them. Maybe just send me it.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out.
You've won a Spawn Zero CD and a Doxin. Free Doxin.
Free dox. Everyone's going to be at your house tomorrow.
It's okay, cool. Oliver, congratulations. You've won a signed Spawn Zero CD picture combination pack. And we're going to go. We're back tomorrow with the build up to the big one with some big announcements. We're going to announce 5 MCs who will be playing this Saturday at the big one live from Capture Works in real time. And hopefully we'll get you on one of those in the future. And pleasure, man. Good luck with the new album. And everyone go and check out the last 2 albums on Spotify and stuff like that, or Bandcamp if you actually want to support the artist. And man, all the best.
Yes, thank you for having me on, bro. You've been killing it this year. I don't think that's maybe not had enough fucking shine. Like, you've had some really good podcasts this year and with some big people as well. So big up to you and have a good Christmas when it comes.
You too, man. Merry Christmas.
I got you. Ready?
Yeah, he's
1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yo, this is Charlie Tuna from Jurassic 5 live and direct here in Glasgow, Scotland, and you call that radio?
Be upon you. We are here to tell the people that we hear you. One God will not allow us as people of conscience to lose our morale. We see the crimes of this government.